Hi there, and welcome to this masterclass with Master Healer and Trainer of Healers, Aria Lorenz. My name is Clement Struck, and it's really an honor to be here, your facilitator on this beautiful webinar. Get ready to take your life to another level. Get ready to start creating and really living a life of your dreams. Specifically, Aria Lorenz will show you, will teach you, and will take you through a wonderful experience that's designed to help you elevate 7 key aspects of your life that most likely on a higher level you care the most about, which is your health, your wealth, your spirituality and divinity, your relationships with yourself, with your family, with your friends, with your coworkers, with everyone around you, your self-love, and also very important, your confidence. So here's what you're going to experience on this masterclass. First, Aria will take you through a training session or a training lesson. This is where Aria will explain to us the concepts of higher self, what's the difference between lower self and higher self, and really how to utilize, how to connect, how to embody your higher self and call your higher self into your present reality, into this dense 3D world to really elevate and take all key aspects of your life to another level. So part 1 will be more like a training session. And in part 2, you will experience a wonderful energy activation session where Aria Lorenz will literally guide you through a immersive, highly transformational, sensational experience where you will be calling in your higher self into very specific aspects of your life. So before we begin, perhaps think about which areas of your life you desire to shift the most. So whichever aspect you desire to shift the most, Aria will help you do just that. So here's one important paradigm shift that you will discover and uncover in this masterclass. So when it comes to creating and alchemizing a dream life and really living a life that's full with joy, with fulfillment, with meaning, with purpose, with success, all of us have been taught to basically manifest and create from our preconceived notions of what we really want on our egocentric level. And there's a problem and big gap in this type of manifestation or this type of creating our life. And there's a problem because of 2 reasons. First of all, we usually have challenges obtaining something that's not aligned with our higher self. So that's first kind of missing link in all this alchemy of and creating a dream life. So if you've been having challenges obtaining or manifesting or creating something or bringing something into your life, big chances are that whatever you were desiring was not really aligned with your higher self. So that's the first challenge. And the second challenge is, which is even more, I would say, evident in today's life of capitalism, of this outer fakeness, is once we achieve or obtain something that we desired on some kind of a lower level, we don't find fulfillment in it. And the main reason for this is because whatever we are desiring, or at least how we were taught to create life and manifest, is not aligned with our higher self. And once you start calling in your higher version of yourself, once you start embodying, communicating with your higher version of yourself, your life becomes a harmonious melody, a magic. And this is what you will experience today. Now, before we begin with Aria, let me briefly introduce to you this wonder woman, this special woman who will be helping you today and who will be helping you create a dream life. You see, Aria Lorenz is also my personal healer. She has been my guide for years. We met in Los Angeles at Mind Valley Reunion event, and ever since, Aria has been part of my personal life. She really helped me elevate my life beyond what words can explain on this video right now. Second, Aria has been also one of the highest rated authors on Solvana app. So if you've been using group immersions on Solvana app, big chances are you've experienced one of the sessions with Aria Lorenz. One of Aria's specialties and the area where she is really the world's best in her field is particularly in working with higher realms, particularly in connecting, embodying, calling in and communicating with the higher realms, and especially with your higher self. And you will experience Aria's magic and Aria's wonder and superpowers on today's masterclass. Aria Lorenz is also a master healer and a master practitioner. What sets Aria apart from other light workers and healers is that she is a master practitioner. She does and performs over 1,000 sessions every single year. So she's really a highly experienced doer. She is also a trainer of healers. So not only she works directly with clients to help them heal, release, and also step into the higher versions of themselves, she also is training other healers and other energy workers. One of the beautiful things about Aria is that she is flown around the world in private jets to help clients, with various life challenges, and primarily everything revolves around really connecting with yourself on a higher level. Again, in the context of this masterclass, with your higher self and really taking your life to another level. So without further ado, let's begin with part 1 of this masterclass, which is a training session with amazing Aria Lorenz. Aria, we would love to know about your particular story and your life. So how did you create and manifest a life of your dreams? What was the process like?
Thanks, Clement. This is such a good question. I get asked that all the time, but it didn't start that way. It started actually very early in my time here on the planet. I was 2 years old, and I had this wonderful relationship with my dad. He would come and lift me up and throw me in the air. I remember that still because it was such a wonderful feeling. And he got very sick. And we didn't know what happened to him, but he got weaker and weaker. And within the course of 6 weeks, he couldn't lift me up anymore, nor lift his body. He was just laying on the sofa most of the time, totally exhausted. And we took him to the hospital, and I remember this stress situation and was wondering, what is going on? And my mom completely immersed in this. And on August 5th that year, my mom's birthday, my dad died. And it was such a shock for all of us, and especially for me, because I thought it was my fault. There was something that I didn't do or did do that made him lose all his energy. And I remember standing at the window that night with my mom, looking at the cars, and she had that game with me where I would count the cars, and it was a soothing game. But we were standing there counting the cars as they drove by. And I felt such deep sadness inside. Everything was crying inside of me. And I didn't want to show it with my mom because I didn't want to make her feel more sad. But that feeling, that stuck with me, It stuck with me over the years. And I grew up and I was a highly sensitive person. And you probably can relate to that. When you're highly sensitive, you feel everybody. You feel their energies, you feel how they're feeling, and you want to help. So I grew up as a child, as a teenager, and later a young adult, wanting to help people. But I had also this urge of being better and doing the right stuff and doing the right things and wanting to do more, because in the back of my mind, I still had that thought that if I had done better with my dad, I would have saved him. So I came from a sense of urgency and fear and really wanted to, make sure that other people don't die around me and that I do the right thing, okay? Well, what happened is I ended up going through a few more deaths, which were, very challenging, and I fell into a depression myself. So when I was 24 years old, I was laying on my floor in my living room and couldn't move my body. I was just completely exhausted, and I didn't even have energy to think of anything positive. So everything started becoming negative in my world. And I became a real negative person over the course of a few weeks. I went into a deep depression. And later on, I realized what was really happening is I was processing, what happened then with my dad, and I had a chance in this situation to move out of it. But how do you move out of that? Many people, they go with medicine or, taking any kind of drugs or trying to numb their feelings or trying to up their energy just so they can function, and they end up empty inside, yeah? So what happened here for me is, by the grace of God, I got this information of a healer, and he showed me how to access my higher self. And I accessed my higher self. I got the information of what I needed to do, but not only that, I found a plug, how I can plug into an unlimited source of energy, an unlimited source of supply, and plug into that, download it into my physical body and my experience, and live it. I came out of this depression and I said, you know what, I'm going to show up, I'm going to be here, and I'm going to be here differently. I'm going to bring forth my gift. And now I knew what my gift was. Everything changed because I wasn't focusing anymore on what I didn't want and what I wanted to avoid or who I wanted to help or how I wanted to cope. I came out of this knowing what my calling is, who I am in the world, and what my gift is that I'm bringing, and how to do it. And with that, I plugged into this infinite supply and had the energy to do it. It's totally magical. And yeah, over the course of the later years now, where I'm sitting here and talking to you, of course, I found out what's actually the science behind that and how can I teach it to others. So now I get to teach this. And this is really what the ingredient is and what the recipe is for a dream life that, my dream life is a different dream life than your dream life, right? And our neighbor's dream life is different. So it's a recipe for a dream life that each individual can create for something totally unique that's really inspired by the highest and best.
Aria, what do you think are some of the biggest misconceptions about manifestation and creating and alchemizing a dream life?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. Manifestation is often really perceived as I am focusing and doing affirmations and visionings towards a certain thing I want or a certain goal I have, yeah? But what really happens when you do that is you work in the outer experience, you work in the result area, and you're focusing on the results. It's a little bit like as if you had an apple tree and your apple tree doesn't have good apples. And you look at the apples and take one apple and inject some vitamins into the apple and say, okay, I'm going to make this apple better. Yeah? It's not working. It's not effective. And why is it not effective? Because one, you're not getting the perfect result. Sometimes the apple will respond well, sometimes not. We know all how that goes. But also, you have so many apples to work with. It's a lot of work, yeah? What if you just went and fertilized the tree? If you fertilize the tree will do its thing. It'll create the perfect apples. And then all areas of your life will actually bloom and blossom. Then we can have the fulfilling relationships. We can have the wonderful things in life that we want. We can have all our affairs in order. We can have our dream job. We can, really help other people the way we want. We can have the perfect health. That's what happens when you go to the root. And the biggest misconception is that people don't go to the root in order to manifest. They go to the apple. Now, the root in this case is our higher self. If we go to the source, if we really have access to our higher selves, then we have all of the supply and all of the possibilities, yeah? And then not only will our manifestation really stick and work, it also is guaranteed that we really manifest what is our best, what is in our best interest, and what brings forth our best.
This brings us to the concept of higher self, Aria. Can you please share with us and tell us what is a higher self?
Well, you could probably think of your higher self as a genie in a bottle, but better. That's how I like to think of it, because genie grants us wishes, yeah? And our higher self will absolutely grant us every wish that we have, with the added benefit that the wish will be what we really need. Have you manifested things in your life that you ended up really not needing or actually wanting, and then it was really hard to get rid of them? So, my client once, she really wanted to attract her soulmate, and she's used the law of attraction and worked with a mission statement, created a mission statement in terms of her relationship, and said, okay, this is what I'm about and this is what I want to attract. And then she wrote a list with all the attributes she wanted to have, and she got it. And she hated this relationship after a very short amount of time, and it was really hard for her. She went through a lot of trauma to break up again, and then she came to me and she said, I know how to manifest, but really I always manifest or not always manifest what I really want. And that's where the higher self comes in. Your higher self gives you access to an understanding, to a higher view of your purpose in life, what your mission is in every area of your life, and it lets you see how you get there, the exact steps. And then, unlike the genie gives us 3 wishes and then we're done. It gives us clear information of how we can manifest it time and time and time again. Endless. So that's super valuable, because then you're on target with your divine purpose, with your real life purpose, and you actually manifest what's in your life purpose rather than just what you think you want and what your mind thinks it wants, or what your parents think you need, or your environment tries to make you think you need, okay? So you're really coming from who you are. And then the other aspect is that the higher self can give you answers. How would you feel if you would have access to any answer you ever needed, and to know that you're actually getting the right answers that involve every person or situation that's part of this question? So in other words, I'm asking, maybe, is it the best for me to take this job? Well, I might get a yes from my understanding what my current life situation is. But if I ask my higher self will only give me a yes if this will actually lead to a continuous flow of joy, happiness, abundance, and help me really serve the world. Yeah? If it isn't, then I'll get a no for that job, and I get a yes for a better job, and I get an understanding of where that better job is to be found, how it's going to look like, and what I'm supposed to do. So this is an all-encompassing access to the higher wisdom that's within us. Now, how do we get there? Well, our higher self is really a part of us that is not incarnated. Our whole soul only incarnated relatively small part in this body. The rest of our soul, and you can call that higher self, is still in the divine realm. And that part is connected to us. So we're getting information in from there all the time, only most of the time we're not conscious about it, and so we're not accessing it consciously.
Now let's get a little bit more practical, Aria, please. What are some of the practical steps that we can take to call in, connect with, and really fully embody our higher self?
Oh, Clement, there are so many practical steps, and there is a real sequence that people can go through that is very, very beneficial and changes lives. I can give you maybe examples of things that are really valuable for people. So here's one. Let's do this right now. Take a deep breath in and release with your exhalation. And now as you continue breathing, imagine that you're really releasing everything you knew before, everything you were thinking about, and you're emptying your mind and your feeling vessel. Breathing in and you empty, let go. Breathe in, breathe out and empty, let go. Do that a few more times, knowing that nothing will be taken away from you. You are just making room right now in order to receive more information and also in order to receive more energy. Okay, so what we did just now is really the first step when we want to come in contact with our higher selves or with any ascended master or light being. We want to empty ourselves. We want to be completely new in a way, so that we can take in new information and energy, right? We often think, oh, I know that and I know what she's saying, and never mind, you know. Then we're kind of closed off and we're missing what's really coming in, yeah? So that's one practical step. Another practical step is it's really good to know when information comes in your daily life, what is coming in from your higher self and what's coming from your lower self, so to say, your ego, yeah? And a good rule of thumb is, if you have a decision that you need to make, let's say you want to change location, you're moving somewhere. You ask that question when you released, and ideally after you really accessed your higher self, which we're going to do later in the practice session. But how you do it is, you ask your higher self, what is the right move? What should I do? And then you feel. Now, if moving to this certain spot, let's say spot A, feels exciting and it feels like, oh my God, it would be amazing if we could do that. It's a little bit more expensive and a little bit different than I think we could do, but gosh, that would be really wonderful if we could do that. If it feels exciting. And at the same time, it comes with a feeling of fear or apprehension, like, oh my God, it might be too expensive, or what are my parents going to say, or I'm not sure that we can really do that. That would be your higher self. Your higher self comes in 99% of the time with a feeling of either excitement, exhilaration that's coming from deep inside, not just, hype, but really from the heart. Or it could also be relief. Oh, thank God. Oh my God, that would be so good. Yeah, comes in with that, packaged with a little bit of fear. Yeah, ooh, I got the jitters. Ooh, I'm not sure. Yeah, that would be your higher self. Then you should move to the location A. And if location B feels like, yeah, that would be a smart move to make. We should do that. We can afford it. Yeah, it's kind of, you're like, not so exciting, but it feels safe. Then that's coming from your ego. So ego is always coming with a feeling that's not very high. It's more like, okay. Together with a feeling of safe. It's safe to do, it's easy, yeah? That is a decision that's coming from your ego. Don't do that.
Aria, how do we shift our vibration? How do we shift our vibration in a way so that we can hack the process of spiritual and energetic alchemy?
I love it. Hack the process, Clement. Yeah, and that's really what it is about. It's all about our vibration or frequency and how do we shift it to the higher realms. Because if we are vibrating on a lower frequency, then it's really hard to access positive feelings and positive thoughts, because feelings as our thoughts are always floating around. They're energy bubbles. They're floating around. It's not like I have a feeling or I have a thought. It's actually I'm picking up a thought and I'm picking up a feeling. And interestingly, you are picking up the feeling that matches your vibration, and you're picking up the thought that matches your vibration. it's like we have these Velcros that we're walking around with, and the Velcros, they attach to the feelings and thoughts around us that match our Velcro color, so to say, yeah? And so if you change your Velcro color, or you can also make the example of a radio frequency, you know, if you change your radio dial to a certain program, then you're actually receiving that program. And if you dial it to another program, you receive the other program. But all the programs are always out there. Those are two examples for us to understand frequency or vibration and how we attract likewise, you know, the frequency that's similar to our own. And yeah, so the frequency needs to be above a certain level. There are some measurements out there when they say if you are above 200, then you are starting to be in hope, in positive feelings, you know, looking forward, appreciation. You go higher and higher and higher up on that scale. If you're at 500, you're in unconditional love. Everything can be loved by you, yeah? And if you're at that level of 500, then it's really easy to access your higher self, because your higher self has a high vibration, a very, very high vibration. And we cannot get information from there if we're not dialed into the right frequency. Yeah? So how do you hack it? There are a few practical things that you can do in life to really raise your frequency. One is eliminate gossip. Gossip is such a virus that's running this planet, and everybody is now used to connecting with other people through gossiping, and it's really a total frequency downer. If you want to go fast speed down in your vibration, then gossip. And since you don't want to do that, eliminate gossiping. And what I do is, one, I eliminate gossiping with myself. So I'm not gossiping in my mind about what I'm doing wrong or what other people do wrong. Yeah? And then avoid gossiping with your friends. Instead, if they start gossiping, give them a compliment or say something positive about something. And if you cannot shift the conversation, I say to people, then you need to leave the conversation. You cannot afford gossip if you want a high vibration. Another hacking factor, because you say hacking, is also when we use our subconscious states and program our minds positively. Subconscious states are when we're falling asleep or when we're waking up or when we're unconscious. So that means if I'm unconscious about what's going on the TV in my living room, and the TV is talking about murder or Trump or anything that is kind of, you know, a difficult subject, then I'm programming myself with it, as is happening when I'm falling asleep or when I'm waking up. What if I use this for my benefit? So here's what you can do. You can just put in positive affirmations or a positive talk before you go to bed and when you wake up in the morning. Program your alarm that way, because that's the time when the subconsciousness gets programmed, and it's 1,000 times more effective than doing affirmations consciously.
Aria, can you please share with us some practical real-life examples how your clients shifted their lives with this important concept of connecting and embodying their higher selves? How did their life change?
Oh, Clement, I love it. That's my favorite topic. I could be talking about this all day long, all the time. All the miracles that I get to see through my clients and what happens for them. Anyway, so one really amazing thing is with the soccer players that I've been working with, professional soccer players, and mostly in Germany. They often come and they have something broken or some physical ailment, and they want it to be healed really fast because they need to be on the field again. So here comes this guy, and I can't mention the names, but so he basically had his leg broken, and he healed it in about 2.5 weeks. It was all healed with accessing this vital energy plug that I talked about and some energy sessions that we did. And then we realized that he was really feeling depleted and completely empty. His life didn't have meaning. He was high up in fame and really working hard, but he felt his life didn't have meaning and he was very depressed. So he used drugs, he used alcohol, and his whole life was falling apart. Well, that's when we started accessing the higher self, and he started to see what his actual mission is in life, and he started to understand what his meaning is, why he's here on the planet, what he's supposed to bring. And he got so inspired. And with that, he also gained more energy that he could start doing things, and he knew what he had to do. He went on and he created his own brand, and his family came back together, and he found his purpose in life. And now he's actually helping other soccer players who are in the same position. And together with the program that we have for accessing the higher selves, they're really starting to create a meaningful career. So another example is families. I've worked a lot with families and parents and situations that they have with the children. And one family came to me and they really wanted to have children. And the doctor said the man was infertile, he couldn't have children. So we worked on the physical realm, and he was fertile really fast, and within 3 weeks after that they conceived, and then they started to access the higher self of their child that was just conceived. And they got information of what this child's life is going to be about, what the name is going to be, and how they best support that child. And I just love that. I love when we can access the higher realms and help ourselves or others to really live their best lives, yeah? And in this case, our children. But we've also used it when people have difficulties with somebody. So they go up and they find out what's actually the background and what is the calling behind that. What's the calling behind that? And then they can see what their actions actually have contributed to in this situation and change it, yeah? And come together. And then other things, I just want to go on and on. I mean, soulmates, you know, people finding their soulmates, attracting their soulmates, knowing, you know, when and where to be at which place to meet them. Or careers, you know, find your life's calling, find your career choice. So I have one client, she already had a pretty good career with a business, her own business that she had going on in Munich, and then she started to access her higher self, and we did that regularly, and started asking how can she expand, which way should she go, and what's the best clients to attract, or what else needs to happen. And she now has tripled her income. She has tripled her business. She has 3 businesses now, same business in different countries, and she's really actualized. It's just really fun to see.
Thank you so much, Aria, for being here and sharing with us this practical wisdom. This is really, really super useful. So now, before we go into the energy session, Aria, please share with us some practical tips how to make the most out of the session that's coming. What do we need to do? How to prepare? What can we expect to experience?
Yeah, Clement. Okay, this is going to get fun. Okay, I'm so curious how everybody's going to experience this. I know it's going to be great. What you want to be doing is you want to drink a lot, have a lot of water in you, and then sit upright with your spine upright, because then the energy flows through your spine and it really activates all the centers in your body. If you're laying down or if you have a crouched back, then it gets stuck. So you want to have a straight back, sit yourself up, and then I'm going to raise the frequency first from a beta level. Most people are operating on beta, which is more or less the awake mode, stress level mode. And we're going to the alpha level, which is a deep relaxation or meditation mode. And if you're used to meditation, then you'll be fine in that level, and I can also take you easily to the next level, which is the theta level. If you're not used to meditation, alpha will already feel very relaxing to you, and then the theta level might make you sleepy. But I would like for us to try to not fall asleep, but really be awake, and that's why that sitting upright is important. Having drank enough water is good. And then just know I'm raising the frequency to a theta level, and your body might think you're falling asleep, but you're going into this trance state where your brain is super receptive. And then we're activating the centers in your brain that are responsible for clairvoyance and clairaudience, and emitting those frequencies that we need. So we're working with specifically the pineal gland and the pituitary gland. We're also working with the inner ear, and the third eye is really the gland. But we're working with all these aspects in your brain, so your brain will feel very active, and your body is supposed to feel really still. You want to hold your body as still as possible, because when you move your body, your consciousness goes back into body consciousness easily. Yeah? So sitting upright, having enough water in you, and be still. And then what we're going to do is we're going to access our higher selves, but because we only have a short amount of time, we want to have some aspect that we want to really work with. So think of something that you want to specifically ask your higher self, or you want a solution for, or you want healed. Yeah? So what in your life is like the most pressing situation you have going on right now? Do you want it to be healed, eliminated, or do you want to have an answer for that, or do you want to invite that into your life? Either way, just think of one single thing, because you want to use this session only for one single thing. That way you get the best results. And then after the session, know that if you didn't get the information this time super consciously yet, that's a bit of a practice, and it doesn't happen for everyone right away. So it takes a little bit more, probably, getting used to those frequencies, but it'll still possibly come in, very, very likely, 99%, 98%, very likely come in either through your dream that you have tonight, or in any of the next nights, or it will come in as an intuitive spark, like I talked about intuition earlier. So intuition can access the information from the higher selves subconsciously if we don't get it consciously. So be open and aware to insights, things that happen to you, or dreams in the next days, okay? And then let us know how it goes. Aloha and welcome to your energy session. I'm happy that you're here, and remember to sit upright. I'm sure you drank already some good water and you're hydrated. And let's focus on what you had in mind, what you'd like to ask your higher self. Is it a question that you have? Are you going to ask for healing for a certain situation? Or are you asking for something to come to your life that you would like to invite? So take a few moments as you make your body comfortable to think about that. And then make yourself really comfortable sitting upright with an erect spine, your chin slightly tucked, so that the energy can flow freely up and down your spine, through the brain and back down. And then imagine that you're grounding yourself. You can imagine roots going down through your feet and your perineum, all the way down in the center of the planet. And as they're anchoring themselves in the center of the planet, in a light crystal energy, you're breathing out into your roots and grounding more by letting go. And then breathing in, recharging your system for a few breaths in and out, letting go with your breath and breathing in with your breath until you're free and clear to embark on this journey. And as you do this, visualize a white light shower coming down from Mother, Father, Creator, God. And it is like liquid honey flowing down into your brain, into your torso, into your lower body, legs, the arms, hands, and all the way down your feet. And it's showering your whole body with this wonderful light and washing you free and clear. And then the shower expands and it encompasses your whole auric field, and you're being showered with this beautiful light. Intuit the color and let it flow through you as you're breathing in and out through your roots, completely clearing your energy field. Wonderful. One more breath. Now we're creating a protection shield around your aura. We're asking Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael, please create a protection shield around the person listening to my voice right now, so that they may be completely protected and only energies that are of the light and that are serving the light are able to enter. Now we're calling on the violet flame, Archangel Zadkiel, Archangel Zadkiel, Archangel Zadkiel. Thank you for your presence. Archangel Zadkiel is present right now in your space, and he's letting the violet flame burn in your aura. Allow this whole transformation to already begin and be strengthened. You cleansed your aura, you connected and you protected yourself, and now you're allowing the violet flame to completely eat up any negativity, any used up energies, and vibrate yourself already higher to higher frequencies, so you can start hearing and seeing in the other realms. The violet flame is amplifying all positive aspects for you, making them stronger. Take deep breaths into your roots as this is happening, and breathe in from your roots, allowing your system to recharge more with this beautiful, clear and healthy energy. The light shower is still happening. And I'm starting to raise your frequency higher and higher as you let go of all the focus of breathing, violet flame, and you just go inward. Turn within, allow the thoughts to flow by, but don't follow them. And feel into your heart center. You may see a space there, you may feel a space there. You may just take the moment to focus there. How does your heart feel? Is it light or dark? Is it wide or narrow? Just perceive without judgment. Now in your heart, focused and centered in your heart, you can say the sentence, I'm completely present with myself. And then we're calling in a beautiful light bubble. It's a sphere of light that's coming down from Mother, Father, Creator, God, Source Energy. It's floating down right now through the light shower, and it's settling over you and around you. See yourself completely surrounded by a beautiful light sphere, almost like a soap bubble with beautiful iridescent colors. You might see rainbows. Don't get distracted if you don't see anything. Just allow this bubble to be there. Now the light shower stops, and you find yourself within this light bubble that's feeding you, it's strengthening you, it's also raising your frequency, it's activating the centers in your brain. And we're starting to shut off the body now. Imagine you have a switch on both your feet and you turn them off. You have a switch on your legs and you turn them off. You have a switch on your lower body, you turn it off. The switch on your upper body, you turn that off. Turn off the switch on your arms. Turn off the switch on your throat, your face. Now only your brain is active. Now we're turning off the left hemisphere, the left part of your brain. Switch off. Now you only have the right part of your brain active, your intuitive part. Visualize your pituitary gland and the pineal gland to start to expand. Into the size of a golf ball. Your inner ears expand into the size of a golf ball. You're so much more receptive now. You start perceiving more. Your senses are heightened. And you're ready to be lifted in your bubble naturally up higher and higher into higher dimensions. And you notice how your light bubble is actually starting to float in the air, and it's going higher and higher, like air bubbles up in water. And you're going higher through the dimensions with a direction to your higher self. Higher and higher. You're letting go of time constructs, of the perception of space, and you're just allowing yourself to be drifted up higher and higher, even higher yet. And it happens automatically, as if a magnet pulls you to your higher self. And then you reach a really high light platform. It's almost like white clouds. It's very bright. And your bubble comes to a halt on that platform. And as you look, you see in the invisible realm you can feel in the invisible realm. You are now really starting to perceive other beings, and there are the first light beings coming to greet you. Allow them to take your hands and guide you over the walkway of the platform, further into a beautiful room with very, very high ceilings, almost look-through ceilings. The material here is unlike on Earth. It is all look-through and beautiful, shimmering in light. And as you're entering this space, you see in the middle of the space a beautiful fountain out of gold and silver light, spewing up in the middle. And you come closer and you see it's pure energy. And you're being asked to sit right in the middle of that fountain, and you're being filled up with this energy, recharged. Health issues that you may have had are being healed right now as they're getting the exact amount of energy that they're needing. Your senses are being heightened once more, and you can perceive now tenfold more than before. Look around you. What do you see? What do you feel? What do you smell or hear? And there you see a beautiful light being come towards you with a smile, and your heart leaps in joy. The energy of your heart goes out towards this light being, and it comes back from them, and you realize this is your higher self. It is so familiar. It is as if you've met here many, many times. What a beautiful greeting. Take a moment to connect with your higher self, whichever way you may perceive it. Don't get distracted by the way you perceive. Just allow this to happen. Know it is happening, whether your senses are making sense of it or not. Take deep breaths. Open your heart. Open your heart wider. And once more wider, like a blossom that opens fully. Now you may ask your higher self what you came to ask here. And then open your heart wider, and it is as if you're breathing in the answer into your heart center, and you're allowing it to change you. There may be a thought that comes, there may be a feeling, an insight, or just enjoyment. Allow that, take it. You're in this moment becoming the answer from your higher self. Like a tuning fork can help an instrument to be tuned onto a certain tone. You're being tuned onto the frequency of what you're asking for. So you can't help but live into it. You may perceive words or pictures, and they may show up as if you're seeing something, If you're noticing something that feels like as if you're feeling or hearing something, this is how your higher self communicates with you. Don't think about it. Receive gratefully and gratitude. And know if you're not hearing something specifically or seeing, you're receiving it with open hands and an open heart. Know you are becoming it. It is happening right now. Take 3 more breaths in this gift, this gifting experience. Now I'm drawing the energy consciously into your conscious brain, so you have conscious access to it later when you come out of this session. Allow this to happen. Then give thanks to your higher self. You may return at a later point. Enjoy the energy exchange for one more time. And then you're turning back, leaving the fountain, leaving the place, and you're being guided again by these wonderful light beings. And it is as if you hear waterfalls everywhere now, trickling water, birds chirping. You hear many, many beautiful sounds like music. Listen to what you're hearing. Smell the air. Feel the light as you walk back to your bubble. And you're entering your bubble with gratitude and a wave to the light beings. And naturally, simply, the bubble starts to float down, deeper and deeper down towards where your body is sitting. It's as if you're being drawn towards your body now magnetically. Effortless, you float down through the dimensions, filled with gratitude, filled with this encounter that you just experienced. And as you're coming down furthermore, you realize you really changed. You're vibrating. Every cell has gotten some information, and they're right now communicating with each other, changing your life forever, changing your life towards what you just asked for. Now enter your body, and as you enter your physical body, ground down into your roots all the way deep down into the earth, and breathe in from the earth. Do that 3 more times. Super important that you ground yourself after a session like that, just as important as the protection shield. And grounding makes this experience accessible and makes it come into physical reality for you. Now wiggle your toes and your fingers and rub your ear and welcome yourself into your physical body again. Grateful to be in this body. Welcome back. Now watch for your dreams, write down your dreams and be aware of intuitive hints that come to you. Maybe if you meet certain people and you notice there are some answers there, they may come from your higher self. Or if you're being guided to read something, especially if things show up 3 times in a row, you really want to look for that and pay attention to that. Something comes to you 3 times, that's coming from your higher self. You want to go with that. And also, if you have a sense as if somebody's saying that, a sense of if I should do that, it comes steadily, but it comes as if, then go with that. That's also very likely coming from your higher self. Okay, enjoy. I'm so looking forward to hearing from you and to connect with you again. Thank you so much for being part of this. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Aloha.
Hi there and welcome back. Please ask yourself the following questions. Was the time spent with Aria time well worth spending? Did you get any new revelations, inspirations, aha moments when you connected with your higher self? Did you enjoy connecting with your higher self? Did this connection and embodying your higher self bring you some new levels of clarity and insights? And most importantly, would you like Aria Lorenz to help you even more and even deeper to level up all key specific aspects of your life? So if you answered yes to at least one of these questions, you will absolutely love Aria's 7-week journey titled Dream Life Alchemy, where Aria Lorenz will guide you and hundreds of other students through a wonderful, highly transformational journey and a program to help you elevate 7 key aspects of your life, starting with health, relationships, wealth and finance, your self-love, your confidence, your spirituality and divinity, and also very important, your career and the impact and the contribution you're bringing to this beautiful world through your work. So if you would like to learn more about this program, you will find more information here on this page below this video. Please do not close this page, because what you have available on this page is a special discounted price, just as our way of saying thank you for taking the time, for spending time with Aria and investing in your life. You see, if you wanted to hire Aria for one-on-one sessions or attend any of her private events, you would have to pay thousands of dollars. However, when you enroll, when you give a try and try this 7-week program titled Dream Life Alchemy, you don't have to invest thousands of dollars, not even $2,000, not even $1,000. The price on this page alone is discounted up to 60%. So please do not close this page, because the discount, this special discount, is available exclusively on this page. Now here's how this 7-week program, Dream Life Alchemy, works and why it is so special. So every week, you will be working on a specific aspect of your life. As I mentioned, this will be your health, your wealth, your relationships, spirituality, career, self-love, and your confidence. And every week has actually 3 core elements. On the first day of the week, which is usually Monday, you get a lesson. We call it a lesson day. This is where Aria will be teaching you various new concepts and wisdoms related to that specific week and that specific aspect of your life that you want to level up by calling in your higher self. Then from Tuesday and to Saturday, you will have practice days. This is where you will get practical tools like activations, energy healing sessions, manifestation sessions that are designed to help you really call in, embody in your higher self, and really take that specific aspect to higher dimensions and higher levels. And the beauty is that you will get a lot of different tools from Aria. They will be guided by Aria, and you will be able to choose which one of these tools resonates the most with you. But in short, Tuesday to Saturday, it's a practice day. This is where you immerse yourself into various energy activations. And then Sunday, day 7 of every week, is a reflection day. This is where you stop a little bit. This is where you contemplate. This is where you reflect what you've experienced. This is where you also slow down to recharge, to rejuvenate, and prepare for another week, then repeats on a similar cycle and pattern. Day 1 starts with a lesson day, and then you have practice days, and then you have reflection days. So again, You will absolutely love this 7-week program, and the best part of this is you don't even have to make up your mind if this program is for you or not. Simply enroll, give it a try for a few days, and then see if this is for you. Here's why. You are protected with unconditional money back and full refund policy. So if you don't like or love the program for any reason, no problem. Simply let our customer support know and you will receive a full refund without any questions asked. So here's what happens when you enroll right now. You will instantly get your login information, your username and your password to access the program. You will also get instructions how to access our private community where you get to connect with me, with Aria, with other fellow students. And you will also get instructions how to access all your lesson days, all your practice days and all your flexion days. So I look forward to seeing you in this program. I can't wait to go on this journey together with you and hundreds of students. All the best, and thank you once again for being here. Sending you a big, big hug. Goodbye.